I think it's time for me to admit that I was wrong about Brock Purdy. What's up? Good evening. The 49ers just beat the Chicago Bears. One of the best games you'll ever see. It came down to the very final play. And while we had Caleb Williams running around like a chicken with his head cut off, throwing it to no one, earlier in the game, we had Brock Purdy in a very similar play, doing very similar stuff, actually getting the touchdown pass to Kyle Juszczyk. That might have been the play of Brock Purdy's career. I mean, it might be. That was just incredible. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's like Kyler Murray if Kyler Murray cared about football and was smart and good at football. He's a lot better than Kyler Murray. He's a good player. Is he as good as Mac Jones? We're going to discuss that next. But first, I want to talk about Kyle Shanahan. Nothing against Brock Purdy. I'm going to make you wait for my take on Brock. I want to talk about Kyle Shanahan first. I've just been so proud of Kyle this year. I've been dogging him for years, and I've been trying to get him fired. And I think he took it personal, but I never actually wanted him fired. I was just doing my job as quality control. He plays 4D chess. I play 11D chess. And me putting him on the hot seat has brought out the best in him. He's really grown as a coach and as a person, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a Christian. Sorry. He has grown, and I take 100% responsibility. Me and Tom Walsh, the co-quality control coaches for this team, really brought out the best in Kyle, but it's not about us. It's about Kyle. Kyle was on fire in this game. I mean, everything. Brock made him look good on a few of these plays. Brock's a good player. I'm not trying to take anything away from Brock by praising Kyle, but dude, you had no Hall of Fame tight end, no Hall of Fame left tackle, and the run, you had 178 rushing yards in the first half. Now, Brock gets credit for that because he is now officially a dual threat quarterback, and defenses have to account for him, which opens up other stuff. Incredible. But Kyle gets credit for that. No, I get credit for that. No, Steve Young gets credit for that. Steve said it first. He said, you got to make Brock Purdy a runner in this offense. You got to call run plays for him. Then I was like, hey, Steve's right. And they did it in training camp. I tried to give you guys little hints hey, I saw it, but I couldn't I get my credential pulled. But then they did it a few weeks ago for a touchdown. What was that, in Cleveland? I asked Kyle, have you ever called that before? Answer was no. Kyle was like, yeah, all the time, because he didn't want the rest of the league to know that that's what he's going to be doing the rest of the season. Then, boom, twice in this game. I mean, was it twice? At least once for a touchdown. The other one was a scramble for a touchdown. So he added that element to the offense. He got the run game going without any dominant blocking tight end. He completely rebuilt Brock Purdy's confidence after it was on life support just a month ago here. He had his own fans screaming for Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan handled that, got the run game going, got the quarterback going. They scored 42 points for the second game in a row. Coach of the year. And it was funny, Mr. Fire Kyle Shanahan over here. I was saying last year, why don't you fire Kyle, or why don't you trade Kyle and hire Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson's a good coach, but is he better than Kyle? They're both very clever. Is Ben Johnson a better leader than Kyle? I don't know, maybe. But right now, it seems like Kyle Shanahan is the least of the 49ers' problems. It seems like for the first time in his career, he's actually growing. This dude is he's 46 years old. And he seems like he has more wisdom. He's more flexible. He's more willing to take suggestions than ever before. For example, during the week, last couple of weeks, I was asking him and Clay Kubiak, hey, you guys just kind of struggle with this run game. Although not the last couple of weeks, but you're kind of struggling with this run game. Why don't you give Sky Moore an end around, considering he's been such an asset for you and he's earned it? And they're like, yeah, we want to. Guess what they did today? They gave him an end around. You're welcome. And then on top of that, this isn't about me. I just keep talking about myself because I have personality disorder. So earlier today, I saw David Lombardi streaming, and I was like, I can't let this dude stream while I'm not streaming. I'm streaming too. And I didn't really have anything to talk about, but I streamed for 30 minutes. You can go back and check it out. And basically the first 20 minutes were how I was so disappointed in Kyle for not using Jake Tonjes the last few months. Because I'm like, hey, man, if you have a 32-year-old tight end who's this, plays with this much physicality and violence, you got to have a backup tight end that not only you trust, but that you're like working into the offense because he needs to be ready to go as soon as Kittle goes down, which is going to happen more and more frequently as he gets older. That's just life. And they buried Jake Tonjes for like 2 months, and I didn't like it. But you know what? It didn't phase Jake, phased me, but it didn't phase Jake. Jake Tonjes just bounced back like he never left and led the team with 9 targets, led the team with 7 catches, had a touchdown, led me to the fantasy football championship. Jake Tonjes, love that guy, and love Kyle Shanahan for going back to him. I mean, it's kind of absurd that you have such a good tight end. You bury him when Kittle comes back. Then when Kittle goes out, he's once again your number one option in the offense. Tonjes. I mean, damn, dude. He put up, again, his stat line was 9 targets, 7 catches, 60 yards, touchdown. That's a George Kittle line. This guy is a future Hall of Famer, probably, maybe. But again, this is I want to praise Kyle. Would Jake Tonjes be doing anything without Kyle Shanahan? Good player, but Kyle gets the credit there. I mean, who would Brock Purdy be in the NFL if it wasn't for Kyle Shanahan? Now, Brock's made Kyle look a lot better, but I mean, he's kind of like a Make-A-Wish kid, and Kyle made his wish come true. Is Brock Purdy not the luckiest quarterback you've ever seen? I love that about him. I really do. I really appreciate his luck and his fortuitiveness. That's not a word. So let's talk about Brock. Look, am I wrong about Brock? Let's talk about Brock. I'm wrong about my hair. What's going on with my hair? I don't like it anymore. It's too long. I don't know. I'm working with it. I'm going with it. I'm trying to look like Ricky, but I'm not. Talk about Brock Purdy. Was I wrong about Brock Purdy? I'm starting to feel like I was wrong about Brock Purdy. I'm starting to feel really dumb, but that's most of the time anyway. I'm wrong about a lot of things, and I feel like that inner stupidity is kind of, I get numb to it because once you're wrong enough, it's like, well, there I am again. So I've been saying all year, hey man, is he better than Mac Jones? And I don't know, maybe Mac Jones would have thrown more touchdowns and scored more points today, but Brock was pretty great. He's executing the offense. He's not making bad decisions for the most part. He's making some incredible plays with his legs. He's now a full-blown dual threat quarterback. I mean, I think that was what was almost most impressive. What was most impressive about Brock today? 1, the rushing touchdowns. The fact that he's adding that to the offense. Man, I hate my hair. 2, the comeback at the end. Like, you compare him and Caleb Williams, I think it's interesting. Brock's the last pick, Caleb's the first pick. But in terms of skill sets, you can see it, right? Even Kyle said it during the week. I mean, Caleb's one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks he's ever seen. Height, weight, speed, what an arm. He could throw on the run, yada, yada. He made some big boy throws in this game in a way that, like, Brock can't because he doesn't have that arm. But, so Caleb's a more talented quarterback, the more gifted quarterback. He's not the better quarterback, and I think you can see it with the game on the line. Both quarterbacks had the ball at the end. 1 drive left. And I don't know about you. I'm not a fan of the team, so I don't know what your feelings were, what your emotions were. But when the Niners got the ball, what was it, like 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left? There was no question in my mind that Brock was going to lead him down for a field goal at least. When he got the touchdown, I was not surprised. And that's just because I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan. Always have been, always will be. No. He's not the best quarterback in the league, even though some people will say that he is based on stats. But I have more confidence in Brock Purdy in that situation than a lot of quarterbacks that I would consider better than him. And I think that's a big testament to how good he is. I mean, he's been in this situation a lot for a 26-year-old quarterback. He's come through most of the time. Now, I'm going to do my little asterisk here, my little but. Do a pick 6 on the first play of the game. It's impressive that he led the offense to 42 points, including that play. I mean, really, he scored 49 points in this game. Only 7 went to the Bears. I don't give a shit pardon my French, I don't give a shit what Kyle says about that throw. He said it was a good throw and a good decision. No. It was a bad decision. It was a bad play call. It was a bad route. Jawan Jennings never even saw it. He never was open. He kind of like jogged through the route. I thought it was a bad decision. Put the Niners in a hole. Fortunately, the Bears have a pretty bad defense. They just intercept passes. And when they're not doing that, they have a bad defense. Before half, though, to me, this was the game. Before half, Brock Purdy in the red zone forces a pass to Ricky Pearsall, gets picked. And they call illegal something, hands on the Bears. And I never saw the penalty. And I'm sure it technically was one. But I feel like if that penalty happens 10 times, they call it 5 times out of 10. So I'm not saying, the Niners got lucky, but that was the game. He threw the second pick. It kind of reminded me of like 7 years ago. Remember week 2, 2018, when Jimmy Garoppolo threw that pick to lose the game against the Lions, but the refs called some penalty on the other side of the field against George Kittle. And it was like, yeah, it was technically a penalty, but he kind of got bailed out there. I don't know. I'm not saying it was the wrong call. I'm just saying the game came down to that play. And God love Ricky Pearsall for selling the penalty. I mean, God love Brock Purdy for just being relentlessly lucky. I mean, this is a guy who threw the ball off a guy's face mask in the NFC Championship game and completed it for a 50-yard pass. I mean, this is just keep going to church, Brock. You got Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, all on your side. Just keep it up, man. I don't know how you do it, but you got people in your corner, including me. So I can't really say much about him. He should have thrown 2 picks. He threw 1. It didn't matter. 42 points without Kittle, without Trent. Even though it was against a pretty weak defense, I still feel like this was one of the most impressive performances of Brock Purdy's career. It's the second game in a row where he contributed for 5 touchdowns. Like, damn, Brock, why are you trying to make me look so bad? What did I do to you other than badmouth you relentlessly for years and say that Mac Jones is better than you and that Trey Lance is better than you and that Sam Darnold was better than you and that all these quarterbacks? Why you got to make me look so bad, Brock? I'm just a man trying to feed my family. Shout out to Brock Purdy. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's a good quarterback. And I do feel like that performance against Carolina was big for him. It was important because he played so bad. He was so bad against Carolina. And it was beneath him. He's not that bad of a quarterback. I don't know what happened. 3 picks and 3 straight drives. Can't happen, man. That's some JV stuff. And ever since then, ever since he heard his own fans in his own stadium saying, we want Mac, he's been playing like a guy with something to lose for the first time since he was young. 2024, he played like a jerk. I'm sorry. 2024, he played like a guy who knew he had no backup quarterback who could challenge him. This year, he does. Mac Jones might not be as good as Brock Purdy, but he's damn good, and he can win games. And if Brock Purdy's going to come out here and throw picks and lose games, then you got to go. And you know what? He hasn't done that since the Carolina game. Playing awful against Carolina has brought out the best in Brock Purdy, and maybe he's turned a corner, and this is what it's going to be like the rest of his career. 5 touchdowns a game. I don't know. But if he keeps running zone reads and scoring touchdowns in the red zone from 2 yards out with his legs, I don't know if the Niners are going to lose. They could win next week against Seattle without Trent Williams. You think Trent Williams is playing next week? I mean, I should do a topic on Trent Williams, right? But like, he's hurt, hamstring, 37, 3-week injury. Fortunately, if they beat the Seahawks, they'll get another bye. They'll get a bye week. So 1 week Seahawks, 2 weeks bye week, 3 weeks playoffs. We'll see if Trent Williams is there. But then, do they even need Trent Williams? Do they even need George Kittle? They have Austin Pleasance. Austin freaking Pleasance. All right. I want to shout out real quick Fabletics. Been shouting them out the last couple of weeks. Check it out, man. I wore my Fabletics suit. I'm going to do a little fashion show real quick when I get back to my show. Hold on. That's how I feel when I wear my Hunter Green Fabletics suit. A lot of people have been talking to me about how good I look. You want to look like me? Check out Fabletics. They got amazing deals. They're one of their biggest sale of the year right now. And I got an exclusive offer just for you. 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head over to fabletics.com/Cohn. Sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything. It's only available through my link, so go to fabletics.com/COHN to sign up as a VIP to get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/Cohn. And when you become a VIP, you got to do this right here. What does that mean when you pose like that, like you're plotting on a come up? Scheming? I'm scheming. Before we get to this defense, because it's going to need a lot of quality control. It sucks. There's no quality over there. It's not controlled. Can we talk about the run game? Because we really helped it out. This was a group effort, folks. And we didn't give up. No. We knew that there was something there. And so why is the run game finally working? Other than a collective belief in it. Is Christian McCaffrey better than he was earlier this season? I mean, it looks like it. He had a 40-something yard run today. It looks like he's, I don't know. I said he didn't have a fifth gear. Either he didn't have it or he was afraid to, like, cut it loose because when he did in the past, it hurt. Is that possible? Is it possible that he's finally deep in the season, he's close to the playoffs, and he's gotten over the mental hurdle? Is that possible? I mean, he'll never explain it or tell us. It's really none of our business, but it's fair to speculate. He looks better. He looks more confident. He looks more explosive. But I don't think he's the main reason the run game went from awful to great. I want to shout out Spencer Burford and Dominic Purdy, the two guards. I feel like they're the MVPs right now. I mean, of the run game. Am I wrong? I mean, they went from Ben Barch, who was healthy for a minute and a half, to Connor Colby, who, you know, God love you, man, but rookie 7th-round pick should have been playing. They finally go to Spencer Burford, who's a 4th-year vet. He's played every position on the line except for left guard. And it looks like he's killing it on Christian's long run down the left sideline today. Who was running stride for stride with him up the sideline? Spencer, I got to stop cursing. Spencer, shut your mouth. Burford was. And I really feel good. I feel great for Spencer because he got completely scapegoated for that Super Bowl because he didn't block Chris Jones. He blocked Trent McDuffie, who was coming in unblocked. He had to block someone. Someone was going to be unblocked. He was going to be the scapegoat one way or another, whether he didn't block McDuffie or didn't block Chris Jones. He got put in a terrible situation. Then stupid-ass John Feliciano called him out on social media and then apologized, said he was hungover. Like, shut up. Anyway, thanks a lot, John. Spencer Burford had to eat it for the last 2 years, and now he's a legit asset for this team. And he's going to be a free agent next year. And he's going to get like $15 million a year from some team and good for him. Did I ever tell you my Spencer Burford story? So I was piling on Burford 2 years ago, although I had his back when he didn't block Chris, Jones. He came up to me in the locker room clear out day. He's like, hey, Grant. My heart sank a little bit because I was like, I've been kind of getting lines off about you and I feel bad. And he was like, Grant, I want to thank you. I was like, oh, God. And he's taking the moral high round. He said, you make me better. You make me better. Thank you. Then he did a whole group interview for everyone and asked all the questions about the Chris Jones thing and blamed himself. So I couldn't tell that he was going to be a good football player that day, but I could tell that he was a stand-up guy and a pro. And I think it's great that stand-up guys who are pros have career arcs like this. He deserves it. He's been a huge asset. They could run left and right. Why? Because Austin Pleasance was killing it? Nah, they have two really good guards, Spencer Burford, Dominic Purdy. Maybe the Niners should give Burford an extension. Can you extend him now before he has another good game? Maybe he's still affordable. I don't know. Because it ain't Connor Colby. And if you lose him, it ain't Ben Barch. And you got to bring in someone else. You got a guy, Spencer Burford. But Christian McCaffrey deserves a ton of credit. Brian Robinson also ran well tonight. Sky Moore got involved. I think I got to come back to Kyle, man. It's Kyle. Why was the run game not working earlier this year? Maybe Kyle's stuff was a little predictable and stale and vanilla. Now you got Sky Moore. You got to account for him. You got Brock Purdy. You got to account for him. I don't even like the dude, but I got to give freaking Juszczyk credits. Like, I don't have to give Juszczyk credit. I take that back. I'm going to give Kyle credit for how he used Juszczyk. There's a difference. Because my whole thing with Juszczyk isn't that he's not good. It's that they don't use him. So why are you paying him? Like, to be George's friend? They used him in this game. Why? Because George wasn't out there. They needed someone who could block, and that dude was blocking. He even caught a touchdown pass that was spoon-fed to him from Brock Purdy. Good for you. But his blocking was key. He's just no Jake Tonjes. But who is in this life that we live, in this ever-changing world in which we live in? So I went 20 minutes. I didn't bring up the defense. We got to talk about the defense, though. I mean, the Niners didn't just win the Super Bowl. They won a game. They're 12-4. It's great. It's an incredible feel. Oh, what a feeling. But they gave up 38 points, and their defense really looked good at no point in this game. And frankly, you could argue that these teams are kind of evenly matched. Two teams with great offensive play callers, really good defensive coordinators that have very little to work with, terrible defenses, and good young quarterbacks who are playmakers, dual threats, very similar teams. And the Bears nearly won it. If the Bears had 20 more seconds or one more timeout, maybe they win. But they didn't. And to me, like the best defense the Niners had in this game was their offense. The defense wasn't getting shredded early in the game because the offense kept the ball, and the Bears were never on the field. Eventually, they got in a rhythm and got everything they wanted. I mean, the left side of the Niners defense, dude, what the hell? Couldn't set an edge, couldn't tackle. I mean, I like Diamador Lenore a lot, but like he was kind of soft in this game. The whole defense, Jair Brown, just let the ball go over his head playing safety. Like, how do you let the ball go over your head when you're playing safety, dude? You got to be deeper than the deepest man. That's your job as a safety. And like, I respect Robert Saleh. He's a hell of a coach, and clearly he doesn't have much to work with. There's no pass rush. What's he supposed to do? Still, man, I mean, like, can you get your guys to like line up in the right gaps? Can you get your guy? I mean, can you get your guys to contain a quarterback in the pocket? Can you cover a tight end? I mean, that final drive, you just let Colston Loveland catch a 30-yard pass up the left sideline. I think this season's been really exciting, and is a real chance that they win the Super Bowl despite having a bad defense and the worst pass rush. Realistically, this team had just enough to beat the Bears. And I don't know, maybe if Trent and George Kittle play this in this game, the Niners score 70, and it's not even close. But 42 is about what you're going to get on a good day. And you needed every freaking point because the defense couldn't get a stop, including, I mean, I guess they got a stop on the final possession. I guess. I don't know what Robert saw. Me and Tom are going to have to help this week. And we got 6 days to prepare this defense. But like the basics they can't do. Setting edges, gap integrity, tackling. Not good. And this Bears offense, is it good? You got 2 decent running backs. You got 2 decent tight ends. Loveland's pretty good. He's a rookie. DJ Moore was in and out. Rome Odunze didn't play. Luther Burden on my fantasy team. Help me win the championship. I want to talk about my fantasy team later because you guys all care. You guys are really, really concerned about me. I won the championship, which means that the Niners are probably going to win the Super Bowl. How could I become a champion before Kyle Shanahan? But it happened. And you know what my team name was called? Quest for One. Quest for One. And I got it. Maybe they need me on this team, man. Maybe it's a sign that the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl, that I am now a fantasy football champion. I'm also looking at you with no contact lenses, which is always dangerous. Because 1-800-CONTACTS is right there. They're ready to hook you up. But me, no. I haven't gotten my shipment yet. And my left eye is going to start wandering. It's going to start looking here, there, because I didn't hit up 1-800-CONTACTS. Why? Why'd I do that? It's so easy. And they're the leaders for over 30 years in online contact lens delivery. They offer fast, free shipping. They got free returns and exchanges. They provide a way to renew your contact lens prescription from home with their online vision exam. Did you know that? They got a best price guarantee. They got it all. They got discounts up the wazoo. Getting contacts doesn't have to be a hassle. Let 1-800-CONTACTS get you the contact lenses you need right now. Order online at 1-800-CONTACTS.com or download the free 1-800-CONTACTS app today. Rumor has it that Kyle started wearing contacts, and that's why he's so good, because he can see what he couldn't see before. I'm just saying, 1-800-CONTACTS, you are the real reason the Niners are 12-4 right now. And thank you very much for sponsoring my channel. It's a great decision on your part. We got a game on Saturday. Saturday night, Seahawks, Niners for the number 1 seed. Kind of rough for the Niners in the sense that it's supposed to be on Sunday, but the NFL wants it to be on prime time. So instead of giving them Sunday night, they gave them Saturday night, which feels like East Coast bias. I don't care. Not my problem, their problem. But here's the thing. One, the not so good news. It's supposed to rain on Saturday. Now, I'm looking at the forecast, and we're 6 days out. And it says it's supposed to rain in the morning. So maybe the Niners get lucky. Maybe Brock Purdy gets lucky. It feels like he's the luckiest quarterback in the league. So I'm thinking it's not going to rain during the game. Or maybe his luck comes to an end against the Seahawks. But really, like, what's concerning about Seattle? They already beat them once. What's concerning about Seattle? Well, they have a really good defense. They have a hell of a defense. And it's hard to expect Trent Williams to play or play well. He's got a hamstring injury. Those are tricky. Those are 3-week injuries, especially when you're 37. If you come back too soon, you can make it worse. You could make it a lot worse, and you can miss more time. And while you want the number 1 seed, you don't need the number 1 seed. And if they lose next week, it's not the end of the season. So I would imagine he wouldn't play. And it's one thing to beat the Bears without Trent Williams because, again, that defense didn't look great. They do intercept passes, which is important, but it's not a great defense, especially on the road. Seahawks defense is damn good, and they're better on the road than they are at home. So can they run the ball against Seattle without Trent? I would imagine George will be back. Saw him after the game. He had a big wrap on his left ankle. I would imagine he'll be back next week. Can they run the ball against Seattle? Can they protect Brock Purdy? The Niners' offensive line has been so good. So good. Yeah, I mean, he avoids sacks, but he hasn't really had to very much the last few weeks because Colton freaking McKivitz is the greatest player of all time or one of them. And I think the big thing here, if you've been watching the Seahawks the last few weeks, how much confidence do you have in Sam Darnold, man? We've seen this story play out with Sam Darnold before. He has a great season. And then as December comes around, he starts faltering. And you're like, he's Cinderella. He just turns into a pumpkin. He was not particularly impressive today. And I don't think he's going to be better on Saturday night against this defense than Caleb Williams was today. I mean, he's going to throw a bunch of passes to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Other than him, is there anyone that anyone's scared of? That being said, Niners defense is terrible, man. You made Luther Burden look like Justin Jefferson. Maybe they're going to make Jackson Smith and Jigba look like Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know. They did a pretty good job against him week 1. I just don't see why. I'm an idiot. I picked the Bears to win this game. I'm an idiot for that. No, they were pretty close. Came down to the last play. At least, I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on myself for that, but I'm not making that mistake again. The Niners are not losing to the Seahawks. I don't know what the Niners got. I don't understand what they're doing, who they prayed to, which God is in their corner right now, but they got something going. I don't get it. I'm officially out of analysis. I do this for a living. I'm not very good at it. But I think they're better. I think they're going to win next week. Then they're going to get a bye week. Then they're going to have some home game in round 2 of the playoffs. They're going to face probably Carolina just because, that's how it goes for the Niners. They're going to face Carolina. They're going to beat Carolina. Then the NFC Championship game is going to be at home against who's going to be against? Probably the Rams. And Brock will put up 59 points against the Rams. Then they'll go to the playoffs, and it'll be the Super Bowl. It'll be Niners against the Patriots in the playoffs, and the Niners will be up 10 at halftime, and then Kyle will call 13 straight passes in the third quarter. No, he won't. He's not going to do that this year because I'm in his corner, and we're working like this. Niners going to win the Super Bowl this year because I'm on the team. They don't know it. But I'm in now. It's a group effort, baby, and I'm part of it. And they can't take that away from me. It's PrizePicks times. Yeah. Thank you, PrizePicks. Let's see what we got. Tomorrow, Stafford, 269.5 passing yards. He's starting for me. I don't need him. I already won. I'm going to say more because it's Matthew. Matthew with 2 T's. Passing yards. Kirk Cousins. I'm going to say less. I don't think he's going to go out like that. Kyron Williams, 62.5 rushing yards. Sure. More. Bijan Robinson, 73.5. More. Receiving yards. Puka, 108.5. Jesus. I'm going to say more because Devontae's not playing, and it doesn't seem like anyone's stopping young Puka. Kanata Mumpfield, 23.5. Yeah, why not? I like that. The only guy I don't like on this is Kirk Cousins. Am I right about this? Kanata Mumpfield. Man, I don't like that one at all. I don't have very strong feelings about Kanata Mumpfield. I'm sorry. What about Colby Parkinson? Yeah, that's a less. That one I feel good about. I'm making my picks. It's a 6-pick power play. And I could power play it, but I'm going to flex it. I'm going to submit it. Download PrizePicks. Use promo code Cohn. Play $5, get $50 instantly in lineups when you use my promo code. I'm just curious. Did I win any last week? Let me just see before I move on. Passed. Then I'll take some super chats and talk to you about my fantasy team. Oh, yeah. I won that one, $8. I won that one, $8. I won that one, $40. I think this one was the one with Tom. Tom Walsh is good at predicting the future. Have you noticed that? I'm just saying. Actually, I have no idea who picked those, but you know what? I picked them. I get full credit for all of them. Remember to download PrizePicks. All right, now I got 40 super chats. You ready to do lightning round super chat? All right, Guitar Boy guy, new member. Thank you. Ghost, you mad because you mad because I'm styling on you? You got to be at least 37 to know what that's. Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you? Fernando. That's what I say in my battle raps. Can I get a happy birthday, Luke? Because he's happy. Happy birthday, Luke, says Nathan Reyes. And it says me. Alec McKenzie says, shout out to Grant from Sydney, Australia. Fernando. Thank you, Fernando. Tom Cruise, 49, says, shout out to Macario for not letting me rub his back for good luck. Shout out to Josiah for filling in. Jorge loves Jimmy G still. Fernando. Manny PSF 9593 says, why doesn't Purdy make eye contact when hearing a question or when speaking? Is it as weird in person as it looks? I've noticed that. He'll make eye contact during the question. Then when he answers, he's looking past you at the ground, at the back of the room. I don't know. I've seen people do that before. I just feel like he's so locked in. He's like visualizing the words he's going to say. I don't take it as disrespect. He's just focused. Nigel says Brock wins in shootouts. Brock 6-1 versus Seahawks. I'm not picking against Brock ever again. What am I stupid? I was wrong about Kyle and Purdy. Damn. Yeah, you were, not me. I always believed in him, man. Vito Kuh says, Grant, you the shit, homie. Shout out Steph Curry. Yeah, shout out Steph Curry. Melody, new member. Thank you, Melanie. Richard Evangelista says, could Mac 10 perform the way Purdy did tonight with the same play calling? Yeah, easily. Hold on. Let me visualize a parallel universe where Mac Jones played tonight. Yeah, he put up 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He was just as good. It turns out that Mac Jones and Brock Purdy are equally as good. Exactly. They're both 99s in Madden. Isn't that crazy? I had no idea. But it turns out they're both the best quarterbacks ever. Purdy is what Trey Lance was supposed to be. I mean, other than the fact they have nothing in common, I would 100% agree with that statement. Nancy V says, who lost to the Bears? Niners, baby! We getting this in Tonjas and Pearsall Beasts. No one lost to the Bears. Miami Niner fan says, go with the mid-fade and blend the bulk. Okay. All right. I'm going to do it this week. I'm going to tell him, listen, dude, I want a mid fade. Cut the shit. Richard Evangelista says your new look brings out your crow's feet. Well, thanks, I guess. Do you now owe Papa Cohn a Mont Blanc pen? He didn't want a Mont Blanc. He wanted a roller ball. Oh, a Bic. A nice one. A $3 Bic. Great. Do you think Purdy's earning his contract? Yeah. I'd have to say he is. Because I helped him. Christopher Dillman says what we all forget about Brock is that he shapeshifts into Fran Tarkenton and becomes elite. When plays go off script, Brock Tarkenton, Grant is elite. David Trinidad says Caleb versus Brock. Which quarterback has the better jawline? Which quarterback has the better fingernails? Kilo TW says Kyle gets coach of the year if the Niners beat Seattle for the number 1 seed. Is it unanimous, Grant? I don't know. I would vote for Kyle. He did this with 2 quarterbacks. Joe C. gives a thank you very much, Joe C. Aztec says, Grant, you, my friend, via your QC won this game. Yeah. You called time just to be utilized, so thank you. Oh, my wife and I want to know why you were doing the Merton Hanks chicken bob in your instant reaction. I don't know, man. I got excited. I miss Merton Hanks, though. Steve Lewis says Purdy is the most talented thrower of the football I've ever seen, more than Stafford or Darnold. More than Caleb? Good quarterback. Lombardi is demanding a fruit basket from you. No. I'm not giving him that. I don't like him. Kilo TW says Tonjes isn't perfect, but he's the real deal. Nate Flo says Brock is cooking right now. Them zone reads were fire. Jason says you owe your dad a ballpoint pen, the one without Kittle, Grant. They did. Propa says felt like the Ravens game all over again to start. Same uniforms, same month. This team's more resilient than that team despite less talent, not front runners. You know, there's a lot of truth to that. I'm glad you said that, Propa. Thank you. Trinidad. David Trinidad says, how impressed are you by Kyle Juszczyk 1 out of 10? 1. -7. Carson Farrow says Chase Lucas DPOY. I don't think so. Miguel says greetings from Mexico, Grant. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. This is the Brock Purdy we paid for. I didn't pay for nothing. Vital Cuss says, can I please get a Fernando? Food Facts Every Day says Moody would have missed one of those extra points. Man, leave Jake Moody alone. Richard Evangelista says that coffee must be kicking in. How is it, by the way? Dude, Pete's Major Dickinson flowing through my veins. Ecu Vista says, I met York at SoFi in week 5 and told him I'm rooting for the team to go all the way. Told him about training camp at UOP, man. You are the real MVP. Crazy. J Figs Ramon says, are you high on Pleasance? Nah, man. I've never taken Pleasance in my life. And I don't care what anyone says, man. You can't prove that I ever took Pleasance. I just say no to Pleasance. Fern says this season has exposed how much of a 49ers fan you are, Grant. Just admit it and say my name, Fernando. Your name, Fernando. I'll never admit such things. Bill Kennedy says QC needs to be in coach's box, not press box. Someone said it. You lost the bet to your dad. Give up your pen. Man, I did lose. He had me too. He's like, oh, you think the Bears are going to win, huh? I was like, oh, shit. He's too confident. Oh, he's betting pens. CJM says you also wanted to fire Kyle for Brian Daboll and Eric Bieniemy. You're still awesome, Grant. Did I? I don't remember. I don't remember that. I might have said that like Brian Daboll and Eric Bieniemy like were people I might want to interview. I'm pretty sure I was just trying to motivate Kyle, though, man. This is just motivation. You guys don't understand my 8D motivation chest here. You don't get it. Kyle does, though. Hokey Pokey Bree says, why Sam Darnold chose Seattle? Brock Purdy enemy? Because they paid him hella money. That's why. Logan says, gotta admit Juice was worth this. Hell no! I don't have to admit anything. You can admit that. The GOAT Catcher says, if Kyle gives Robinson, Tonjes, and more a few more touches from here on out, they go deep into the postseason and win it all. They kind of have an unstoppable offense. They have so many weapons, 2 excellent quarterbacks, and a great play caller. Like, yeah, as long as Kyle keeps cooking. Spades says, where's Garendo? Miss you singing Garendo. I don't know, man. He's got to get 1 touch before I sing that again. Aztec says, my wife loves your style, bro, but hey, my woman, for now. Hey, thanks. Can we just talk about my dynasty team for a second, though? All right, because I was complaining about it. I killed this year in dynasty. My first year playing fantasy football in like 15 years. I ran the table. I was like 13-2, 14-2 going to the championship. And then I started Chris Rodriguez, and he didn't play, and I thought I was going to lose. But then I made a brilliant. I picked up Jake Tonjes, and I started him. And I had Luther Burden, and I started him. And the other guy had Christian McCaffrey, and I beat him. And I still got Stafford going tomorrow. Boom! Remember when Steve McNair would do this one? Yeah. That's right. I won a championship before the Niners. So you know what? Maybe the Niners win a Super Bowl this year. Maybe it's their year. But you know what? I did it first, Kyle. In your face. Oh, you're going to be a Super Bowl champion maybe? Guess what? I already am one. A lot of people talking about it. A lot of people saying that I'm better at managing a football team than Kyle. Because I'm just saying, how many games did I lose this year? 2? It's pretty much a 1-to-1. I think I'm going to get hired. Here's the thing. If the Niners were to offer me a job this offseason, be like, Grant, you're killing it, man. Fantasy football, quality control. We've noticed all the good things you're doing. We want you in the organization. You think I'd say yes? The answer is no. Because I can do more for the organization on YouTube for free than I could being paid by Jed York, because they won't listen to me. If they hired me, man, I'd be like getting donuts. But here they got to listen to this. So I am committed to doing this job for the rest of my life. Free quality control for the 49ers, because when I'm on, they just don't lose. And I'm not going to mess. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just want to make that pledge right now. If the Niners offer me $10 million this offseason, I'm turning it down, because I do this for free. It's not about the money. It is about the money. And if they offer me $10 million, I'm done retiring. Rich, I will be twerking for the Niners more than David ever has. But they got to give me $10 million, which I think in this economy is like, it was like $2 million last year. Is Debo and Ayuk regretting their decision? I think so. This guy says, shout out to my boy Niles. Proud of my boy. That's my boy too. AB Garcia says, pass rush sure worries me going forward. Why? Because it sucks? Why? Because it's the worst? Yeah, that's fair. Wow, what a show. What a day. I don't root for the Niners, and when they lose, I'm ready for it. But you know what? I'm fired up. How shocked were you this Niner win, be real? I had a feeling before the game that they were going to win. I felt stupid. My dad cornered me, man. I hadn't slept, and we were doing a show, and he was like, who do you think is going to win? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, let's bet. Let's bet right now. I'm like, man, I take it back. And then I was looking at the numbers, and I was like, man, they're not that good on the road. But they almost won. I mean, Caleb Williams, he already had 6 come-from-behind wins in the season. He almost made it 7. And, you know, if they had Brock Purdy, they probably would have won that game, but they didn't. And Caleb Williams ran in a circle and threw the ball on the ground on the final play of the game. Nice. You got to throw it to the guy. He also had a game winner a few plays before that and one hopped it, man. Brock wouldn't have done that. But I'm a big Brock fan. I don't know what to tell you. Andrew Almeida donates $20. $20, huh, Andrew? Oh, we've been friends since he was 6 years old. Now you're on a yacht in Miami. Give me $20. Thanks a lot. Andrew's one of my oldest friends. We were on the Frozen Monkeys together in 1st grade. I used to go over to his house all the time because he had the best PlayStation games. He's a good guy too. But he had the best PlayStation games and like go-karts and shit. I had hella fun at his house. Now he's a multi-millionaire in Miami. He just bought the Charlotte Hornets, part of him. Man, let me get some of that Hornets. How come I can't hang out with you in Miami? I like yachts and shit. How come you're so rich and I'm over here talking on my laptop? Thank you, Andrew. I love you, man. Have a good time. Have a good night. I'm gonna get a yacht too one day. Just need like 8 more super chats. The Arcade Master 24 says, do you think Kyle respects you in a weird low-key way, or do you think he despises you? Whenever you ask a question, it seems like coin flip how he feels. I think Kyle respects me in a weird way. I respect him, and I don't think he thinks that I like know what I'm talking about per se, but I do work hard. I mean, I show up every day. And the one thing I'll have to give Kyle, because I've been tough on him, he works hard. He gives it his absolute all. And I think people who are like real grinders recognize other grinders and appreciate the effort. So hopefully he sees that I, don't take days off and I'm here giving it my all, thinking all my questions, trying to be fair, trying to be balanced, not trying to kiss ass, but trying to pay homage. I'm just not treating him like a Hall of Famer. Brock Purdy called him a Hall of Fame coach after the game. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day. Maybe coach of the year this year, but not yet. Does Ayuk get a ring if the Niners take it all? I feel like the answer would be no. Maybe they have to give him one, but I think if they won it, it would be like very much in his face. Miami Niner fan says, no pass rush. How do we create pressure while not getting burnt in coverage or giving up easy scrambles? Hold on. No pass rush. How do we create pressure while not getting burnt in coverage or giving up easy scrambles? Hey, man, how about this? If you're not going to create pressure, because he doesn't want to blitz that much because they can't cover. So if you're not going to create pressure and you're just going to rush 4, how about keep the guy in the pocket? How about that? You're not going to get the sack. So just keep him in the pocket so we can't scramble left, scramble right, especially to the right. How many times did Caleb Williams run to his right, which is his throwing arm side? He's better you got to make him run left. But it's okay. Quality control on the case. We got this. We got 6 days to prepare. David Williams says, you replaced me on X. You replied to me on X saying you feel bad for Robert Saleh because of the front office. But in my opinion, I say he rushed 4 on 3rd and 14 with no star. Fair? I don't know. I mean, if he blitzes, he gives up big plays. He's trying to not give up big plays. I think he's in a no-win situation. The Niners they knew they needed a pass rusher. They knew they had the worst pass rush in the league, and they're like, Robert will figure it out. How? What's he supposed to do? Maybe blitz. Vin Wynn says the safety, especially Jair Brown, got burned with deep passes week after week. Can Saleh make any adjustments? I don't know, man. I mean, move Jair Brown to linebacker and put Marquise Siegel back at safety, maybe. Give him another look. I don't know what the answer is. Oh, now you want to be a member. Andrew. All right. Well, I want to play for the Charlotte Hornets, and I think I'm pretty good. So could I get a tryout? Come on, man. I've leveraged nepotism this far, man. I've used my dad's connections to get me in the building. Now I need your connections to get me in with the Charlotte Hornets. I feel like you could do it. Tell people that while I may not have a jump shot or a handle, I'm cerebral. I'm a team guy. I'm a glue guy. And also, the Hornets aren't good anyway. I think I can help. Brain farts decreased from Shanahan this season. Yeah, because I'm in his corner. How could you have a brain fart when you got me in the headset? Brock's got Kyle in the headset. Kyle has me in the headset. I think. Maybe. Did Lombardi say anything about you on your reply on Twitter? Nah, man, he hasn't ever acknowledged me ever. Because I'm too handsome and smart. All right, guys. It's time for me to do the grades. It's 10:50 on the West Coast. I'm going to do my grades, and I'm taking my yacht back home through the bay, drop it off at Jack London. Then I'll take the gondola up to my house in the Oakland Hills. I got all kind of things I do, man. I'm rich. Chopper it up back to my house. You guys think that you're just giving me $10 at a time. It adds up. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the grades. Iggy, disagree with my top 5 quarterback list. 1 Brock, 2 Dylon, 3 Dylon, 4 Dylon, 5 Dylon, 6 Con Canoople. You like I like you, Andrew. Saying Brock's the best quarterback in the league. Man, take that over to David Lombardi, baby. I remember hanging out with Andrew watching Michael Vick win a playoff game in like 2000. We were 12. Now he's rich, and I'm talking to my laptop. Man, fuck you, Andrew. Love you, though. Have a good one. Take care. Next time you'll see me, I'll be